What's up? This is the next stop off. Logrono, something like that. Meant to be, well, it looks like one of the main places in the Rioja area, so I'm going to go for a bit wine tasting somewhere. There's meant to be a good street in the centre. Try and find the name out when we get there. Good street in the centre for tapas and stuff. Where you just stop off. Not sure if it's the weather. It's about 5 or 6 degrees, I think. You can see here we're actually just in a normal car park, but it's pretty dead because it's on the outskirts of town. I think it's a city as well, small city. There is a coach park that way further out with facilities, but by the sounds of it, and there's a couple of motorhomes here, and there was a couple of motorhomes in the motorhome area when we passed, but by the sounds of it, a lot of people park here because in the summer it's shaded by these trees, and it's also slightly closer to the centre, which is that away, along the river and over a bridge, and probably where that tall building is there in the background, all over there that way. But like I say, that's a sports centre there, and this car park is absolutely huge and there's hardly anything in it. There's a lorry back there, and about 3 or 4 motorhomes and us. One car parked side on, so they're not stopping. Like I say, the motorhome area is that way, so we'll probably go and ditch any waste when we leave tomorrow or the following day. Not sure if we're staying here for 1 night or 2 at the moment. We were planning on getting here last night and staying for 2, but we're a day late getting here because we stopped off at that oil farm, mill, whatever you want to call it. Not winery. Hopefully the wine will be flowing this after. So the only thing to beware of here is the parking bays. You have to park lengthways on, because somebody on Park for Night mentioned that they parked side on and they got told by the police to turn around, so they were side on. They were parked parallel to the curb, and we've reversed here. I don't know if you can see, we've reversed, and there's a bit of a mound on this island bit. It's easy enough to get in between the trees, making sure your van height gets in, make sure the height gets in between them. But when you reverse, the way our water tank was just about clear of the mound, where you can see the diesel heater there, the flue exhaust, from the diesel heater is actually touching the ground there now. That's quite bendy anyway, so it's obviously just cleared. It hasn't gone into the ground anyway, but just beware of that. And we're about 6.5 meters long, and we're still sticking out the front here a little bit, but not a lot. I've heard people park with their front wheels in this gully, so they'll stick out a bit further. To be honest, it's so quiet, I can't see there being any problems, but I'm going to venture into the centre now to have a look around, see what's what. Gonna walk into the Logrono over footbridge. See where we'll get to. "20-minute walk apparently into the tapas street." It's Cal Laurel, which is as in Laurel and Hardy, Laurel. Cal Laurel, and it's meant to be a street of 1,000 tapas bars. I suspect there's not going to be 1,000 tapas bars, but I'll let you know how many there are. Loads of places closed. It's 2:30. This isn't a Laurel Street, we've just touched the edge of that, but it's 2:30, and absolutely people around. But all these restaurants, they must open at night, I'm not sure. but I'm absolutely starving. Nowhere open. There's a couple of tapas places open on Laurel Street, but again we've got a dog, so just have to see if we can sit outside. It's not the widest of streets, so there's not much outdoor seating. That's why we came on this street, but nothing here, nothing doing. Right, this is Cal Del Laurel. Loads of places closed. There's a few open, so we're just going to have to stop outside one of the open ones. As you can see, pretty dead and not much outdoor seating to be had. In fact, just tables to stand at unless you can bring a stool out. I'm going to walk a bit further up to see if there's anything else. Well, can't recommend this place at the minute. Absolutely everywhere is shut, and if they're open, obviously you can't take the dogs in. There's absolutely nowhere open with outdoor seating. I think we can see a place further up that might have people outside, so we're going to try up there. See people in and outside sitting there, unbelievable. We're going to head there. Probably not really bothered what they sell. Sorted eventually. Bit of food, a couple of glasses of wine. Calamari, croquettes, no menu. Just reeled off a load of gear. So we ordered a few plates of things, a couple more to come. And at least we're fed. Picturesque squares, empty bars. A couple of them open now, find a couple more open, but still not many. Another dead square. Tuesday afternoon, about 4 o'clock. Nothing going down in town. Walking back to the van now because bought a couple of bottles of wine, so probably just quaff them because I can't get much out here. Not with the dogs anyway. Actually there's a few places open for eats, but having the two little terras is a bit of a stumbling block for cities. Half contemplating changing a few plans around and stopping at out of the way places like we did last night, middle of nowhere. Much more relaxing, much more pleasurable having the dogs and we can just do our own thing in the van. The only problem we've got with the van at the moment is we've got no gas. Not that we haven't got any gas, we had a gas leak on the way here, we haven't had it fixed yet. We'll have to try and get that sorted when we hit back to the UK. So there's only so many sarnies and salads you can eat like. Got no hot water either. No hot water, no cooking. We have got an induction hob, but we need a plug. We need to be on an electric hookup for that. Anyway, back to the van. Lounge bar on the Masty on the way back. The only downside is a few kids knocking around with their parents, like. But on a plus, you got these swingy. I don't know if you can see that. I'm sure the camera's pointing. Swingy chairs, fire pits which aren't on because it's during the day. 2 glasses of red wine, €2. Absolute bargain. Swinging around in my little chair here. Marvellous. Okay, apologies if there's background noise. I've got the diesel heater on, it's a bit of a chilly one this morning. So Logrono in Spain. Just going to go over the ratings, price, free, a bit of a theme going on. Facilities, I've just given that 2 because we stayed in, like I said, we stayed in like public car park and not the actual motor caravan area.
So I've given it 2 because there's basically just a few. Well, there was bins, there was public small bins, and then there was big sort of pallet bins. So no problem with bins, but the water and waste and stuff, you had to drive probably a couple of minutes along the road. Well, not a couple of minutes, probably a minute. It's probably about a 5-minute walk along the road. But if we'd stayed there, we'd obviously give it a higher score. But the car park where the motorhome facilities were isn't as attractive as the car park we actually stayed in. Location, I'll give that a 4. It was only a 15 to 20 minute walk out of the city centre. You'd go through a really nice, well, you walk past the sports centre, you can cross over, and there's a couple of bridges to cross over, really picturesque as well, through a park, and then you're into the main area. Value for money, again 5, totally free, so what else could I put for that? Overall, I'm only going to give the actual stay a 3 because that was mainly down to the actual, when we got into the city, there was probably 80% of places were closed for some reason. Don't think it was a bank holiday or anything, it was just everywhere closed, I'm not sure why. The main street level with all the tapas bars on, I'd say about 50-60% of those were open. But there was no outdoor sitting area. We found somewhere to have some food. It wasn't the best, it was quite pricey as well, so given the overall place a 3. Probably tried again at some point, but hoping that more places would be open. Obviously the dogs were a bit of a hindrance on our part because we had to obviously accommodate them, so walking around with them, it was quite cold, so the only option was sitting outside. Where we did sit outside was alright because they put a heater on for us, so that was good. So yeah, that's Logrono. Thanks.